Welcome. I'm Janelle Kolaski, a career mindset coach and actor.
And I'm Amanda Dubois, a self-authenticity and prosperity life coach and actor as well. And we're your co-host of Mindset Artistry YouTube channel,
where we teach you the art of discovering and using your mindset
to build a career and life you desire.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mindset Artistry podcast. This week we're talking about something a little more structured than we're used to getting into because it's really exciting. Amanda and I have a course coming out and we're touching on so many things that we've been talking about for years, but we're giving it to you and guiding you through it, through teaching modules and meditations, and we'll get to meet with you as a group and all of that, but we'll get into that later. So this week I want to touch quickly on career plans for creatives, because many times creatives focus a lot on their craft, but they don't think about career plans. Many other people, other types of jobs are guided to create some type of career plan. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And so don't feel any guilt or shame if you've never created one, but that's what I'll be teaching in the course with Amanda. Okay. So we're going to be talking about self-evaluation and goal setting, career market research, and professionalism with like business mindset, but also just some mindset hacks and things that you need to have to push yourself forward in fashion and entertainment. So first, we're going to start off with self-evaluation and goal setting. Amanda and I are coaches, and the first thing we do with our clients once we start working with them is a discovery session. And we give you worksheets and guide you through them. And it makes you look at every aspect of your life, because usually how you do one thing is how you do many things, if not all things. And so sometimes you might want to work on something that improves your relationships with people, and that will have a great impact on your career. So no matter what you're doing in life or whatever you want to improve, it's really helpful to check in with yourself without judgment. And if you find yourself judging yourself, Amanda is really going to help you work through that. And ask yourself, if you look at the week, what went well? And according to plan, you could say, and then if something didn't go well, what didn't go well and why? And how can I pivot? So it's not to judge yourself or feel bad. It's just to be really honest, because once you have a really clear picture of where you're at, then you can move forward. If you don't know where you're at, it can be very chaotic. And I've been there. I've been on both sides of the spectrum, and a plan and checking in and being aware is so much better. And regarding goal setting, many of us have made New Year's Eve resolutions, I'm sure, and you make those goals at the beginning of the year, and then maybe 3 months in, they fall flat. And so what we're going to talk about in the course is to how to look at the year and make goals for the year, but how to break them down quarterly. Businesses have an annual review and a quarterly review, and every quarter they check in with what's going on. And when you have a business, if you aren't hitting your mark, it's really important to figure out at what point did something go wrong, and then get better at that so you can pivot quickly. And what happens a lot of times with goals, people aren't checking in or they're not really clear on their goals. So before we move on to talk about other things, I would love to hear anything you have to add to that, Amanda.
I think goals are difficult. I'm gonna be honest. Like I am going to be working with you on a slew of things and more of the inner work that is surrounding the goals, but it's hard. Goals are hard. They can be full of pressure and these expectations. Give it some flexibility and give yourself a flexibility as well throughout that process, because goals change as well. And I'm sure Janelle's going to talk about that, but goals change throughout your process too, because that maybe you got to create some shifts to realize like, oh, actually that goal that I set out for in January and now it's March, I actually don't want to do that because I found something else that actually appeals to what I want to do and aligns with myself even more. Or something gets activated within you that is like, I have resistance. So that's the reason why I didn't go for that goal, because I'm afraid of failure or judgment or anything that comes up, shame, guilt of it didn't happen the time it did, or whatever it is that you're facing during those adversities and during those challenging times. So I would just say, take it easy with setting your goals and allow yourself to flow with it as well, because it's a journey. It's not a race.
The next point is career market research. I started out as a model before I wanted to really dive into the acting, and I thought there was just runway modeling. And when I tried to go after that, because I'm 5'8" and a size 8'10", back in 2004, 2005, it was hard for me to break into the industry. But then I started researching all the potential careers that were available within modeling and things that would interest me. And I started asking models that I admired, that I saw working all the time, how they chose the career that they wanted to do, the specific niche that aligned with them. I would get coffee with so many people, or there was even a model one time that let me come to set with her because I was worried about posing and just really seeing what aligned with me. And then once you really know what excites you, the market research is seeing how you fit into the market. And as actors, we have to do this all the time. They say your type, and then people don't want to talk about type because they feel like it puts them in a box. But you are a creative, but you're also a product. And you see many actors get into the industry. I can think of a few comedians. Melissa McCarthy, on Gilmore Girls, she played this really kind of quirky but sweet chef and very funny. But I had no idea. Like when I saw her in Bridesmaids, I was like, wow, And of course, we all have range as actors, but to break into the market, it's just really great to see where you fit naturally at first, based on, unfortunately, maybe how people would judge you, like on the street. I think TV types a lot of times is how someone would judge you quickly, I've found. And then for film or theater, you're given a chance for people to get to know you a little bit more. And that's not always the case. But we'll talk a lot more about that in the course. But I would love anything you have to add, Amanda, about career market research and where you've found that was helpful to you in your own career.
Yeah. I think it's changed throughout my career as well. So there was a lot of honesty around it. I had to address my skills, my natural attributes, and really feel comfortable in being seen a certain way, even though I may not have looked that way, like, oh my gosh, you're like either where are you from? And I can't quite label you, or you look very classy and I got a little spice in me. But it's embracing the initial version that they see of you and really flying with that. Don't feel ashamed about that initial label, because it's just a perception. It's just an observation, but it isn't really all of you. It's a part of you initially, but it's not everything about you. And so why not use that to your advantage in marketing? And then again, that can change as well. So it's all about flexibility, and then using that to connect with the industry and network, and how to attract and reach out to people, and branding and all that matters. But you can't get to that without really diving in and pausing and going, and even looking in the mirror and going, hey, who am I, and what can I bring to this craft? What makes me different? What unique attribute, skill, or even feature that I have that will make me stand out and make that it factor that they're looking for? And that's what you tap into. And so I would just say, really be honest with it and don't judge it. Don't judge it. Let go of that judgment, let go of that shame or guilt. Like, oh, I don't want to just be seen as a comedic actress or a fit model. I want to be able to do more. Well, embrace that and use that and capitalize on that, but learn where you are so that you can get where you want to go.
Yeah, I agree. Many times I didn't want to play waspy, pretentious people. It really bothered me. It's very funny. I was just at a wedding in my hometown with my fiance, actually. I got engaged with. And he was like, oh, I get it now. I mean, it was in a barn. And people are very free there, and they don't really care what you think. And they just are who they are. And it's just, working class people, and they're really lovely and down to earth, but they're not trying to impress anybody, and they're not trying to look perfect or walk around with Prada, whatever. And so it felt very uncomfortable to me to try to play these characters. So I'm like, I'm so not that. And I know we're all actors, but I love Amanda pointed out, it's just part of having awareness. I noticed that about myself. And I'm like, oh, I'm really getting in my own way here. So let me figure out what that is and move forward. And eventually I'll be allowed to do more comedy or more lovable characters, And then the last thing we're going to talk about here is professionalism and having a business mindset, and anything about mindset and just trying to keep centered and grounded on this journey that we're on. So ultimately, what is really important for me to get across to people that want to pursue a career in the arts, whether you want to be a model, actor, writer, producer, makeup artist, photographer, whatever it is, you have to treat it like a business, and you have to show up with professionalism like you would a 9 to 5. And so even the other day, I heard my manager, like I called him and he said, "Thank you for rescuing me from this actor that was acting like they were the best of the best and were getting attitude with me." And I was like, my God, like, Amanda can speak a lot more to this because I worked in a lot of like schools and a lot of other jobs other than acting, but I didn't work in a corporate setting. But I know there's just certain things that wouldn't fly. And so the people that work all the time are professional. Usually. I mean, I know there's some like outliers, but the people that I see that I notice everybody really appreciates on set, whatever set you're on, they are professional, they are on time, they are good at what they do, and they're kind to everybody, and you see them constantly working. So if you want to work all the time, you have to really think about how can I be as professional as possible regarding being prepared, having everything you need, and treating people the way that you want to be treated and having that business mindset. This is a business. It's a dream, but it's a business. And before I pass it back to you, Amanda, mindset is everything. Mindset is top because you can have all your ducks in a row regarding business. Your craft can be impeccable. But if you're not taking care of yourself and you don't have the right mindset, you will block yourself. I did it for many, many, many years. I had those first two things really crossed off, but then I was lacking confidence. I felt guilty being seen. I felt guilty succeeding in some ways. And there's all these ways that you self-sabotage yourself. And so really being mindful of that and trying to correct it through meditation or what have you, which Amanda can, comment on, and rewriting your core beliefs, which I think is a big thing, has been really helpful for me. This has all helped me work more and more and more, not just the business and the craft, but my mindset. So what do you have to say about that, Amanda?
Well, I agree with you 100,000%. Mindset is everything. Your thoughts dictate how you move through the world, what your body feels. And I talk about that in the course. I talk about limiting beliefs. I dive into that. I dive into the significance and the impact that that has on your goals, on the things that you do and the things that you don't, and the things that are suppressed that may be hiding under the surface that you don't even realize has been affecting you. And so I give you tools and a way to unearth those limiting beliefs. And I'll talk about that in my episode when I talk about all my modules and topics I talk about. But it's just really important to nurture your mindset and your mentality and your mental state, because that is linked with your body. That's linked with your actions. That's linked with the reality that you live in. If you're constantly in a state of hyperactive fear or anxiety or doubt, that is going to dictate how you interact with opportunities, with people, with yourself on a daily basis. It will dictate how you react or how you don't, and how it affects how you also see things. You're not recognizing, too, that if you have such doubt and fear and worry and the fact that you aren't feeling worthy enough of the thing that you want, you are also reacting to that in your life. So if you see that, then you're going, oh, that sounds like a great opportunity, but eh, you know, I don't have enough credits, or I don't have a manager. You make excuses for you not getting that thing or not achieving that or not even seeing yourself worthy of it. You find some type of factual idea or thing that was said or an excuse to confirm the fact that you're not worthy of achieving that goal or that aspiration or that even that opportunity. Because so many opportunities are being presented to us. So about 90% of the time, we're not aware of it because we're so consumed by something else. We're not clear in our core values, like Janelle said, which she talks about. I talk about, you just have to tap in and get really specific, really clear on who you are, which is the inner work, what you want, what you desire, and ultimately what's going to make you happy and what that aligns with your success. Not Janelle's, not myself, because her journey and our journey are definitely not the same, but there's common threads. But at the end of the day, I can never do what she does, and she can never do what I do, because we have our uniqueness and our unique story. And that's what makes it that much better. So for me is really nurture your mindset, and I'll teach you how to dive into beginning that process, because it's a process, honey, and it's not a process that is going to have an end thing. There's no such ending unless you're 6 feet under. Then by that time, it's not going to matter anymore, not to be so morbid. But you get better with time. You're able to just navigate life a bit easier. It feels easy. There's peace within you. And that's what that mindset and nurturing that and helping that and healing that is going to help you navigate and be able to live in, even in times of chaos and adversity, because you're capable of doing that. You just got to give yourself permission to.
Yeah, I love that. More and more, I've been trying to give myself the permission to be empowered, and Amanda will definitely teach you all about empowerment, tying that in with authenticity. And it's really standing grounded in who you are. And so before we wrap up here, just a reminder that we're so excited to share this course with you, and we're here for you and building this community. And essentially, once again, what I'll be covering is a framework for working full-time as a creative. I sat down and looked at all the things that I was doing, and you make it your own. As Amanda was saying, everybody has a different journey. Self-evaluation, goal setting, career market research, professionalism, mindset, building relationships, and self-care. Those are the components. And when you pay attention to those things, it really changes everything. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. We're so excited to see you again and hopefully in the workshop. And we love the feedback that you give us on the podcast and the YouTube channel. And anything you need, please let us know. Anything that we haven't covered yet that you're really interested in, please let us know. And we'll see you soon. Bye. What are your thoughts about this episode?
Drop it in the comments and let us know what you want to dive into next.
Subscribe, like, share, and click the link below to book a free consultation. And
We'll see you next time.